Okay, we're trying to have a very natural conversation with everybody. So you're just eavesdropping on a natural conversation. Just starting off, I mean, obviously, some people know more about how Jon is than others. So, Jon, can you just bring us up to date as to how things are going with the cancer, what the diagnosis is, what the future is looking like, as much as you're able to say?
Well, I suppose the medical term for what I suffer from would be stage 4 metastatic bowel cancer. What that basically means is that I have a cancerous growth in my large intestine, which has now been removed. That happened in January. And the stage 4 part means that it's spread to other parts of my body. And currently the spread is to the peritoneal wall, which is like the bit that keeps your insides in and keeps your outsides out, around your tummy. Possibly slightly more dangerously in my case is it's also spread to my liver. I've had chemotherapy treatment throughout the summer. The NHS follows fairly standard clinical protocols that are backed up by scientific research and all that good stuff. But the cancer treatment is always about percentages, and even though 80% of people with my condition respond to the two courses of chemotherapy that I've had, my response was sadly in the 20%, not very good. So what that means is that cancers continue to spread, and even though, if you look at me, I don't look jaundiced or ill or anything like that, I probably should get into the habit of wearing some yellow foundation and putting some charcoal around my face, so I look a bit iller, but if I stood up, probably Micah could probably push me over. The symptoms basically are a lot of chronic fatigue. I don't have a lot of energy, and as time goes on, my liver function begins to decline, and I suffer increasingly from indigestion, and occasionally I get partial bowel blockages, which is probably best left there without getting into the too much information stage. But most of the time I'm kind of okay in the sense that I'm not in any pain. But it would be nice to have a bit more energy. So that's a bit frustrating, because you probably all know me. I'm a bit of a DIY, hands-on kind of guy. So I've had to suffer a frustrating summer of not being able to do very much.
Are you on medication at the moment?
That's perhaps the point I should come to. Is that about a month ago I had some liver surgery, which, on the prospect of getting liver surgery, that was actually a bit of a game changer for me mentally. And I kind of thought, well, my life prospects have hereby improved, such that I'll probably be here in 2 years' time rather than 6 months. But sadly it didn't turn out like that, because once the liver surgeon had burrowed his way inside me and had a look around with his laparoscope, he discovered that the cancer had spread far worse in my peritoneum than shown up on the scans. And I think the reason for that is it's not particularly active cancer, but it does seem to spread. So it's not actually doing me any great harm in producing toxins and all that kind of stuff, but it will eventually sort of not be good if it blocks my bowel up, or if it causes my bowel to rupture, and then basically, I try not to think about it. That's basically, it's all in God's hands for the future. But medically speaking, naturally speaking, the outlook for me is now bleak. After the liver surgeon discovered the spread, he basically curtailed any further activity to cause my liver to improve. And basically said, well, what we need to do now is go on to the third-line chemotherapy drug and possibly do a phase 1 trial at the Marsden. So I did present myself at the Marsden for the phase 1 trial, and they said, sorry, Jon, you're not well enough now. Great. So I went back to my oncologist and said, well, the Marsden says I'm not well enough. And she looked at my liver test results and said, well, you're not really well enough to go on the chemotherapy either. So I said, okay, well, I'll go home and have a rest for a week and we'll think about it, and I'm sure I'll improve. And I managed to improve enough in terms of being a bit more bouncy when I saw her next, and she agreed to then put me on the third-line course of chemotherapy, which I started this week. And so far it's been good. I mean, I've not had any ill effects, but how long it will take to be therapeutic, if it is ever going to be therapeutic, is hard to say. When you look at the numbers on various internet sites for the drug that I'm on, which is called Lonsurf, you can see all kinds of statistics in the trial results, and the average life extension, if that means anything to anyone, is 6 weeks. So I might just get past Christmas. But you know, in the grand scheme of things, you know, we believe in a God that's sovereign, believe in a God that doesn't make mistakes. I've always felt right from the very beginning, really, that He's given me a real peace about all this, and I just know that my times are in His hands. And while I'm still alive, there's every possibility that if you guys pray and we all pray that the treatment could be effective, or something new will come along and I'll be cured or given a bit longer. It might not be like that, you know. It's God's plan, and I'm happy either way. So.